We're a point in time in history where we have that level of awareness to actually change the world for good in the way that we want it changed rather than how we have been changing it in the past. My name is Olivia Gambelin, and I'm the CEO and founder of Ethical Intelligence. For me, as the background in ethics, my biggest focus right now is actually looking at how to combine our practice of ethics, our understanding, our expertise there, with our innovation practices. So I'm very much focused on looking at new technology like generative AI. How do we implement and embed ethics simultaneously with this technology? And we're at a great point in time in history where ethics has become a very important conversation in how we're developing tech. How does that work in practice? You can care, but what are you going to do about it? That's the part that gets me really excited, and that I focus specifically on of aligning our values, our business objectives, and our technology in a way that practically makes sense, that we actually see impact from. I believe to be one of the biggest blockers is this misconception that all of the ethics problems exist only in the technology. Whereas, 9 times out of 10, when I'm working with someone, their problem actually sits in their operations or the strategy that is then building the technology. They can't even get to the point where they make decisions around the technology because they don't have the right people or the right practices in place, or even the right workflow where the decisions they make are carried out in the technology. So for me, in my opinion, that blocker is understanding the whole ecosystem, that responsible AI, is not just a tech problem. If it was, the engineers would have patched it already. We've got to bring in a lot of different expertise and a lot of different angles. This is a whole team approach, not just one single person. And that to me is one of the biggest blockers that companies face, is that misconception and getting around that misconception. AI ethics, governance, all of that can actually be used as a competitive edge, that this is not just something that sits, it's not police coming in and saying, no, don't do this. It's people and expertise relying on each other saying, oh, we can actually take this technology and this process and make it 10 times better. And then understanding that process, by bringing in a new expertise or a new voice or new perspective, helps with that depth of understanding. That starts to get people around to see, oh, we need the governance, we need the processes in place, we need the training in place so that we can make these really fascinating discussions and decisions around our technology. I'm really optimistic because we have that level of self-awareness where we can start to see, hey, this is actually the change that I want to see. It's no longer, throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing what sticks and going, oh, interesting. We actually understand when we throw GPT into the mix, what's going to happen, what kind of impacts can we expect to see out of this, how can we fine tune that. So I'm optimistic that we're at a point in time in history where we have that level of awareness to actually change the world for good in the way that we want it changed rather than how we have been changing it in the past.